Hey, greetings fellow addicts. It's Russ. A lot of us haven't met. I don't really make very many videos because, as you can see, I'm not real pleasing to the eye, and I don't really talk so good when I know people are listening. Anyway, there was a question put up on one of the boards about how to finish MDF. And what I've always done with MDF is use shellac, particularly amber shellac, because I think it gives the MDF a nice color. And shellac is really good at sealing things. It makes it pretty much impervious to water, dust. It's hard to scratch if you put on quite a bit. And when you're putting shellac on MDF, it dries almost instantaneously. I mean, you can really slop a lot of shellac on the surface. And after you go over it 2-3 times, the more you put on, the more even the finish gets. You don't really have to spend any time knocking it back with a lot of sandpaper or French polishing it on like some people do with shellac on hardwood and stuff like that. So anyway, there was a question about whether shellac would cause the MDF to swell, because MDF, when you get it wet, you know, with water and stuff like that, beer, it has a tendency to discolor. You can get water rings and it can swell and change size. And I think the original poster's issue was maybe the shellac or some other type of finish causing the MDF to swell to a point where you know, the piece would no longer fit. Which, if you're talking about cope and stick doors and using MDF for the panels, yeah, if you cut your grooves a specific size and then you finish the MDF and then go to assemble the door and it doesn't finish the groove, actually fit in the groove, it's going to piss you off. So let me show you what we did here. I set up a little science experiment. Okay, so over here I had one sort of scrap piece of, I'm going to put you on a can of shellac here. Don't move. Alright, so I had one piece of scrap MDF left over from making a panel or something. And I used one that isn't finished with anything as the control, and another one I hit with about 6 or 7 coats of shellac on the left hand side, and on the right hand side I hit it with water using the same method, a rag to apply the shellac, and the same rag dipped in the old Super Dad cup full of water to do the right side. Used as close as I could get without being, you know, completely scientific about it. What I thought was about the same amount of liquid to do each side. So we're gonna take the old digital calipers here, and we're gonna check and see where it came out. Now MDF, because of the way it's made, you know, sawdust and cardboard and everything, high temperature and pressure, you're gonna get different readings, you know, depending on where you take it. So we'll just check in a few places. Right here, I don't know if you can see that. We'll call that 260, just over 1/4 of an inch. Check over here, 2615. Again, just over 1/4 of an inch. This is supposed to be 1/4 inch MDF. 2565 or 255. So between 0.255 and 0.256 is about our average. Now let's check the shellac. 0.2565. 0.257. 0.2575. So the shellac, yeah, it sits on the surface. There is some that sits on the surface, but it comes out, I mean, you put it on that heavy and it still comes out to about 1,000th, that's why I don't make videos, right there, of an inch. Now this side that I hit with water, 0.2585, 2605, 258. So I think it's pretty clear that if amber shellac swells the surface at all, or just sits on the surface, it's only going to change the thickness about 1,000th of an inch, which, if you're cutting your grooves down to the point where 1,000th of an inch of thickness matters, you may be cutting your grooves a little too tight to begin with. The other thing that you should notice is that when you use the amber shellac, it really gives the MDF a nice finish. I like how it kind of darkens it up a little bit. I mean, it's still MDF, and as they say in Texas, you can't polish a turd. But as compared to water, which makes the surface real blotchy, you can tell already. You put on enough shellac, it makes it nice and even, and it's going to protect your MDF real well. It's not fussy to put on. It's a real good way to finish and seal MDF. So, hope this helped you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to y'all later. See you.